Now, good afternoon again. Date 12th of July. I'm after getting the results back from the lab just there now about the dung samples. And there's a mixed message in it. Well, basically, the good news is there's good and bad news. The good news is they're negative for worms, they're negative for parasites, all 5 samples. However, they're positive for rumen fluke and liver fluke. Now, I'm after been doing a bit of reading on the old liver fluke and the rumen fluke. They can't build immunity to them for some reason. That's beyond me as of yet. But they can for the worms. Now, I didn't test the calves. Settle down, will you? I didn't test the calves because the calves have no signs of any problems whatsoever. Their dung is firm, they're thriving mad, they look well, they're in great form. And the cattle also are that way too. Now, this lady here, look, I actually didn't test her, but look, if the 5 samples I tested came back positive, I'm assuming that this lady has a similar load. Now, she is in great nick. Now, here's the funny thing, right? She is the best shaped cow at the minute, and her calf there has the least flesh on her. So, and she is out of a limousine, and she's a short turn. So you would expect that calf to be the best of them, but she's not. So a lot to be said for the milk. She doesn't have a great bag on her. She wouldn't have mighty milk. But the one with the highest burden, now the egg count went from 2 in the rumen and 2 in the, or around 10 say in the liver, up. The highest was 27, which was the Galloway. She's on the far side of that hedge at the minute. The Galloway had the highest burden, surprisingly enough, in rumen and in liver. You nearly know by looking at her. She has that dirty coat on her, but I don't know that they slick off as well as other lowland cattle. So, yeah, that is the situation, and that is where my head is thinking today. Now, I'm a bit perplexed. I'm annoyed over it, to be honest. That fluke. You see, you can keep ahead of the worms by moving your cattle, breaking the parasite cycle, but these snails, I don't fully understand it. I think they have to be hosted by the snails first. You'd probably know better than I. And then they become available for the cows to re-ingest again. So snails tend to travel. It's wet ground that they live on. This is wet ground. Am I going to do anything about it? I'm after getting 2 bits of advice by 2 men I highly respect. One is telling me, unless they're showing real clinical signs of poorishness, that all animals are going to have some kind of burden and it's acceptable. Yeah, there's a lot of me that agrees with that. And then I actually spoke to the main man himself over in America, Mr. Greg Judy, and he would be a great advocate for natural selection and cull out the bad performing cattle. And well, he maintains that I need to do something about liver fluke. So that's the situation with me at the minute. So out from that now, all is well. There was a bit of grass here now. I hadn't grazed. I went up onto a heavy bit of ground first, and now I'm back on this greener stuff. And down they're going, down to that woolly place there. They're going down there tomorrow evening when I have a bit of help. So all the calves are actually on this side now. Strangely enough, the cows are all gone the far side. So I need to think about this, and maybe yourselves will comment and let me know what you would do. What's the big deal about dosing? Why don't I just dose? Why am I so concerned over it? Well, I suppose I'm being taught, or what I have learned, is that our dung here. You see all them little holes, all the dung beetles and the worms underneath, and the whole cycle of life gets interrupted when you put chemicals into the dung and you turn an asset into a toxic mess. That's the worst part of it. So is there a worm dose out there or a fluke dose out there that doesn't do that? That only kills once, and when it comes out it's fine? I don't know. Is there natural plants out there that they're browsing on that I had hoped would clear them? Maybe so, and maybe that's just a thing that I'm over worried about. Maybe that's what is happening, and that's what I'm seeing in the dung. Maybe they're doing exactly what they're meant to do. I don't know. I'm not an expert just yet. As I said, this is all experimental. I'm just trying all these theories and putting them all to the test. Isn't it funny how the calves are all this side here now? The mothers are gone. So I'm going to think about it. Do some more research. Keep an eye on their dung. Their dung has firmed up already. I do believe that they were gorging out on stuff in around them hedges, which skittered them that last couple of days. They've balanced out again now, so I don't believe it's actually the fluke that's given them the runs that time. If that was a one-off, they're fine again now. I don't believe it's a lack of protein. In fact, it's probably too much protein that gives them the runs also. That's not a concern of mine either. Now here's the thing I've noticed them eating, and I've never noticed them eating it before. Do I have any here? I must actually get the app. Hang on. That identifies plants. Egg trees, I think they call them here, or egg bushes. Excuse me, I'm after a feed. Let me see Eddie here. I noticed the cattle eating these. I never noticed them eating it before. These here. The cattle were eating them up on the hill there the last day. They have a little flower, as you can see there, and that turns into a small little white berry. And I've heard neighbours call them egg bushes. Now when I Google egg bushes it doesn't come up, so I had to take a picture of that. But I found them eating them leaves. So what medicinal value is in them, I don't know. But look, I'm not going to panic just yet. I'm going to stick with our plan. And I was also thinking about that bluestone. I bought a bag of copper sulfate today as well. I was going to put it into that drinkers, but apparently you can overdose with the copper sulfate. I'm not experienced enough with it, but old timers use it regularly in the drinkers, and it kept fluke at bay. It didn't cure, it just kept them at bay. I think that was the theory with the bluestone. Now I haven't done it either because I'm afraid of overdosing with copper. You know, I'm the kind of man that says if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's not broken just yet. So that's the story. Is there a hole in this hedge that I can go through? No, it's down here. So all the calves are in here. Something in that hedge. And my springer. So they've lots of grass in here. This place was topped this year and has been resting now for probably 40 odd days. So there's loads of grass in here. Now let's just look at this fella's dung. Now see, look, there's not a bother with them calves. Not a problem. There's probably not a problem with the cows either. But that's the one thing I find hardest. Yeah, I'll not put out chemical fertiliser. I won't spray any weeds. I'll do a bit of topping. But if there's something wrong with the animals, I will dose and medicate, as you would yourself. So it's the hardest thing for me to stop, though I have. Anyhow, look, that's my story over. I'm going on a good bit now about this, so I'm going to quit. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get on the old internet and do a bit of research and see, is there any other way around it? Probably not. I probably will dose. I'll get them home and throw them down the crush. But anyhow, I'll keep a tight eye on them. So look, if you like these videos, you can like and subscribe, and thank you for all the new subscribers, and we'll chat all again soon. So good luck and goodbye.